Night. And we're live. Welcome to another riveting edition of Untitled featuring myself, yours truly, R. Jones. I also serve as the moderator as well. Joining me as always, my guys, formerly from the BX, now residing in the Carolinas. Dominic is here in the house. How you doing, brother?
All's good. All right, let's roll, baby.
Let's roll. And we can't forget our boy. He's always listening. I like that profile pic you got up there, brother. My man, Roland is here.
They gotta teach me how to do this, man.
With that's
backgrounds
simple,
and the pictures.
Yeah, that's easy, brother. We could get that settled. That's easy. That's nothing. You know what I'm saying? That's very easy. You know what? We got a pretty decent show. A lot of things happening, obviously, in the NBA with the trade deadline that just passed. We'll talk about that a little bit. Yeah. We'll talk about that in a little bit later. But the first thing on the docket tonight, in the lane of boxing, if you want to call it boxing, it involves Jake Paul, popular YouTuber, influencer, all that, social media star, Jake Paul, going possibly, and I'm hearing it's done. I can't guarantee it, going against Canelo Alvarez. Yeah, the first thing that comes to my mind, honestly, is this is a money grab, obviously, because he was originally supposed to fight Terrence Crawford, but here's the thing. Here's what social media plays into this. Terrence Crawford, as skilled as and a good boxer as he is, he's not popular, okay, to the general public. Whereas Jake Paul has millions and millions upon millions of followers, and he's an influencer on social media. He's been boxing, but it hasn't really been against any type of top tier competition. As a matter of fact, it probably hasn't even been against really truly professional in their prime competition. He's fought guys that are past their prime, you know what I'm saying, stuff like that. But yet he gets the notoriety of that, So I really kind of, as much as I don't want it to go down, I kind of do, because I would like to see somebody put this dude Jake Paul on his ass. You know what I'm saying? I really want to. I would love to see that. So. He's trying to get his headphones like he was saying. Oh, come on, Ronan. Get your headphones, brother. Join in. Join the fray, brother. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but that's my initial thoughts on this whole Jake Paul thing, man. Because I like to see him and his brother get handled and whatnot and just shut the freak up. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm tired. No, this is ridiculous. It's actually very sad how the boxing game has transitioned into this. It's a folly now. It's ridiculous. It's actually quite sad.
It's a microcosm.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It's a microcosm of what we're watching. You started off, not to cut you off. You started off with this guy's a social media hottie. This is what we've become.
Exactly.
Me and Ronan got 1 million followers. Man, we know everything. We can do everything.
Right.
And ain't talented at nothing. We just got 1 million followers.
Exactly.
I keep going back, man. We had these conversations years ago about this social media shit. The gift and the curse, and here we are.
Exactly.
There you go.
Yeah. Oh, and Mr. Live is with us as well. Your mic is live, sir. How are you?
My man.
What's up, people? What's going on?
Since we're live, happy belated birthday.
Oh, yes.
All right. Good looking, baby. Good looking. Appreciate it.
How does it feel to turn 40?
You know what? Yeah.
What are you, 39?
Wishful, right? Wishful. Wish I could touch 40 again. Boy, I'd be a superstar right now.
You ain't lying, bro.
Got that right. Believe it, brother.
You know what I'm saying, but yeah. So what y'all kicking it about? Jake Paul versus?
Yeah, you know what? Versus this, and I hear it's a done deal. It's supposed to be believe it or not, on my birthday, May 3rd, in Vegas.
Right.
At either the Allegiant Stadium or the T-Mobile Arena. I'm hearing it could generate as much as $200 million. See, this is the problem. It's a money grab. That's what it is. The whole thing with the Tyson and Jake Paul thing, other guys that he's fought, I don't know if it's reached that type of gate financially like that, but he's fought high profile, but yet against guys past their prime. Right. And of course, you go on social media and you talk your shit and all that stuff to get, to get more and more and more followers. It's like I said, it's truly a sad transition to go from where boxing once was considered great to what it has become now, with this clown being a major player in the boxing game. Come on, it's ridiculous. You know,
and I, I would, again, man, I come from the Hagglers and the Alis and the Shafers and I come from that, man. I even come from the Riddick Bows and the Tysons. You know what I'm saying? Like I was a fan of boxing. I would probably say all the way up to remember the Muslim cat that came in.
Which one?
For a quick sec, that clown. What was his name? I think he was. I think he was a welterweight, but he was playing around, and he had built up such a following, but then he started getting knocked out real crazy.
Prince, that guy Prince
Naheem or Nassim, something like that. Yeah, all the way up till around then where it started getting gimmicky. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
I was a fan, and I even had to. Well, I won't call him a friend, but I had to. Well, this person unfriended me because I had my outlook on the Tyson fight was like I didn't watch it. And I took a real serious dive on it because, and again, we don't know where Tyson is at, his needs and his family. And, heard he got 20 mil. And, I mean, look, 20 mil is a lot of money. So, we could talk what we want to talk, man. But purely speaking, man, it's your legacy, my man, that you sold for $20 million. Right? It's like they could have they did take everything away from you. They charged you with rape, they villainized you, and then they tried to make you Betty Crocker like they did, Foreman. You know what I'm saying? They didn't quite get it there, but now they demasculated you to the point where and I'm not saying he was the best role model, right? But when you talk about almost omnipotent power in the ring, right? Almost omnipotent. How you admire a guy and how you want to be that, right?
Right.
That Jake Paul shit took that right away. That shit took it away. It took whatever was left of what we had at Tyson. That shit took that. It took it away.
Right.
Even with them going, okay, they ran the tape back and they showed Tyson could have beat him up easily. That's even worse. It's even worse.
I see we got our brother Shaggy.
My man.
What's going on, man?
What's good, baby? All right.
All right, fellas. What's going on?
Yes, sir.
This is going over the debacle that'll be allegedly happening May 3rd in Vegas. This Jake Paul versus Canelo Alvarez match.
That's really happening.
I'm getting different reports, and they saying it's a done deal. It hasn't been announced, but they say it's a done deal. I'm hoping this is honestly. I'm hoping it's bullshit. And if it isn't bullshit, if there's one guy that I want to see take this Jake Paul out, it's Canelo Alvarez. All right, this is a guy that's in his prime. You understand? And it's not going to be, like with the whole Tyson thing. Let me just say something about the Tyson fight with him. And I said this too many times. All those impressive training videos, snippets, 30 seconds here, 30. Bro.
No.
I'm just saying, bro.
I know what you mean.
I wasn't impressed by that. I'm like, okay, that's a great 30 seconds that you put out there. I don't know, man. I'm just talking. I'm just saying.
Let me know it's my turn, yo.
Go ahead. It's your turn, brother. I'm gonna pass the mic over to you.
That Mike Tyson joint was a gimmick. Mike Tyson still. He's 50 years old, man. He's 50 years old. Jake Paul is a gimmick, and they have destroyed the art of boxing.
Yes.
It used to be a sport where you had Duran, Sugar Ray Leonard, Tommy Hearns, That's when I was watching boxing.
Hagler.
I'll be 50
we
this
was
year.
just
Hagler.
talking about
I
it.
still debate the Sugar Ray Leonard Hagler fight. I was a big fan of Hagler.
Yes, sir.
I mean, now boxing is almost unwatchable unless it's two legit stars. Jake Paul, every time he's signed. Now I heard, and I don't know how, but I heard there were clauses in that Tyson fight where there was no knockouts allowed or some foolishness. It was something with that. I think the gloves were bigger and all that stuff. Jake Paul can fight, but there's a difference between fighting and boxing. Jake Paul is very talented and he can fight. If he meets you in a bar, he's gonna bust you up. But against a real boxer that's skilled, that runs 10 miles a day, etc., he's not beating him. I don't even want to see him fight Canelo Alvarez. And if he loses to Canelo Alvarez, it doesn't say anything about Jake Paul except he lost one of the greatest fighters in boxing. So it's not like who's gonna say something? Anybody that talks about him losing Canelo ain't never beat Canelo and can't. So it doesn't matter.
Right.
Now you talk about Crawford, that's a different story.
Of course.
Yeah. I don't think Crawford should fight him. If I'm Crawford, I'm not fighting.
Boxing's like the NBA now. It's all about gimmicks. The NBA is just like boxing. It's all about the gimmicks and whatever sells, whatever makes them happy, whatever gets them viewership, ratings, dollars.
Right.
Who cares anymore? Huh? We said this before.
Yeah.
Live and Craig came on.
Exactly.
Really, I mean, this is a gimmick. It's sad. We just heard Live and Craig go all the way back to what we was used to. The Leonards, the Hearns, the Haglers, even the Arguello. Remember him? And
man, Aaron the Hawk Pryor.
Ooh, that's right.
And don't even let me get started on Sweet Pea Whitaker.
Yeah,
who got robbed, which broke my heart.
First of all, what Mike Tyson did, I mean, he could have been fighting me and Craig. That was embarrassing. You could tell he wasn't in shape. He did the money grab, and God bless him. I mean, I thought he was doing good with his marijuana business, and I mean, why are you still getting in the ring, man? Let's be honest. We all love Mike.
Of course,
his career has been over, guys. His boxing career was over 20 years ago.
You know how much money he got to fight?
$20 million.
You got $20 million for that.
For $20 million, I'm fighting Jake Paul right now.
Me too.
Me
too.
So,
I was like, yo, I do a lot of strange things for 20 mil.
I don't know about the strange things, my brother, but that's your life. But I definitely fight Jake Paul for that.
Listen, strange things. 20 million, all right? 20 million. So let's not even do that. All right, you know what I'm saying? I'm keeping it 100. You know what I'm saying? I mean, $20 million is a lot of money, man. And
think about it, guys. If we got in the ring with him,
right,
it would just be 3 more non-boxing people in a ring boxing. So
it'd be 2. I'm sharp.
Okay, all right.
I took karate since I was 6. My hands.
So you'll earn your $20 million.
He gonna earn his 20.
I'm just getting the money and running. Me and Live gonna go have a beer, call it a night.
There you go.
No. I'm gonna do one of those what you call it, the hand of stone. One of them dudes had plaster. Plaster in the gloves. You know what I'm saying? He gonna be like, he got drywall all up in his shit. Like what's going on?
That's stupid, man.
Yeah, crazy.
But you know what? And how the power of social media is to ruin a sport like this. You know what I'm saying? How powerful is this platform? You know what I'm saying? To just you go out there. I'm a popular influencer, and you have your way in a professional sport. You have your way in destroying a once glorified sport.
You know what made me turn that tune right out of that when they advertised that he had a $10,000 earpiece, ear protector piece, with gold studded, diamond studded, that was supposed to protect his ears. I was like, they just making a mockery of my man. They're just killing him. Like anything that he had left, any dignity, any anything that we took is yeah, man. You can say what you want, man, but Tyson to knock him out in 30 seconds, boy. Like after this fight, man. It was even when it was accepted for me. It was just very hard to look at Tyson the same way. You know what I'm saying? And I thought that was the agenda. I truly believe that it was the agenda.
I just hope to God, because at the end of that Netflix special, and they was interviewing and whatnot, and he was saying he was like kind of alleging to. They asked him, "Would you do it again?" And he was leaning towards. I just hope that was like some real bullshit, and that you wasn't really serious about that, because my dude, at some point we all got to learn. We all got to learn.
Yeah.
You all got to learn. You got to say enough is enough, man. Come on, take a. This. All you have to really do is just watch the replay, and not even of the fight, just of the post conference. You know what I'm saying? And take a look, man, and just see how I hate to even say this word, but how pathetic.
No
I
one
even
to
say that.
No one to say when. You know what? 10 years ago, I used to run 2 miles in 13 minutes.
Okay.
I can't.
Not bad.
I can't even
bad,
ride a bike for 2 miles.
Let me
Let
me ask you a question. Did y'all see the pre-fight, the preliminary, the interview with Mike Tyson?
Nah.
No,
when he turned around and didn't have no bottoms
fell
on.
asleep.
Oh, they
yeah, no, I've seen a clip of that. Yeah, no, that was wicked. That was wicked.
Happened, they telling you this is a gimmick to
of
entertain
course.
y'all. And that's all it is. And that's it. Now, in terms of taking something away from Mike Tyson, I'll never take away a man's legacy. I see Muhammad Ali get beat up so bad. I think it was what's his name? Not Lewis. Whatever his name was. He begging the ref to stop the fight because he loved Muhammad. So I'm not gonna take nothing away from Mike Tyson. I even had the honor of meeting him in Club Cheetah one time. He's a psychopath. But for $20 million, social media hasn't destroyed boxing. It's destroyed everything.
Yeah,
right.
It's destroyed women, men, integrity, honor, everything.
Right.
So, Mike Tyson, I mean, for $20 million, man, I'm not really mad at him. I was disappointed. I don't even think I didn't rent or pay for the fight. I can't remember if I even watched it. I saw the highlights because I wasn't interested. You know what I'm saying? It didn't turn me on. And I knew it was a gimmick. So I was just like, man,
okay.
I just happen to have Netflix, so.
Yeah, same.
But boxing isn't done. Because when I watch boxing, usually after the fight, I'll see who won, but I already know in my head who I think won. Because these judges are horrible. These dudes don't want to fight number one contenders. Back in the day, and I don't mean to keep bringing up old people, but back in our day when we was watching boxing, anybody 45 or older, you had no choice but to fight. Oscar De La Hoya, say what you want about him. Who has he not fought? You get in the ring with whoever's good, and you go in. There was no undefeateds because there was 10 people in your weight class that could knock your head off, and you might fight them 3 times, and you weren't getting anything. This is a different era. You know what I mean?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Well said.
They fighting guys I never heard of.
Right.
And getting $50 million to do.
Hey, three years ago, me, you, rest in peace, Mac.
Yes, sir.
Dave. We talked about this, remember? These guys don't even want to fight each other.
No, exactly. It's
like,
a shame.
let's just grab somebody out the hot dog stand and say, hey, come fight live. It was a joke. It's been a joke.
20 mil, we can get it.
Yeah.
20 mil, we can get it.
Exactly. It's actually just it's shameful on so many levels.
And I'm not even gonna use Craig's thing. That old guy get off my lawn. No, this shit is crystal clear that it looks like garbage, man.
But what happens at Pride? They have no pride.
Oh,
now.
hell no.
Before, back in the day, you had Pride, where the number one contender was fight the champion.
Exactly.
He'd have to earn that designation of being the number one contender in whatever division he.
Yeah, they wouldn't even get it to you. Right.
Yeah.
You had to earn that.
You know what else social media did?
What's that?
Turned a lot of these competitors into friends. Back in our day, you couldn't get on the phone. Sugar Ray Leonard didn't call Hagler and be like, what you doing? Or like his post or follow him and see how he's living.
Right.
And meet him in Vegas and go hang out. These dudes are friends. Even basketball players. In the summertime, they on banana boats together. They're doing all this stuff. Like it was back in the day. You might have a fight with a dude and you can go his same city because it might be a problem. Now these dudes all are seeing who's wearing what, who's driving what. These guys aren't even competitive when they get in the ring with each other because they always hugged out of respect after the fight, but these guys are really friends.
Right.
Like, remember, Hagler lost to Sugar Ray Leonard and moved to Europe. Nobody's ever seen him again. They don't have that type of honor and integrity and want to win so bad that they'll take those kind of measures. These guys are taking pictures together a week later in the club, drinking champagne, talking about how much money they each won, and thanking each other for getting each other back.
Right. Yep, exactly.
So,
wow.
It's just
doing it. I'm doing it for the gram.
I look at this and I just am so happy, even though getting old stinks. I'm so happy I grew up when I did and had the experience I had. If I was in this era, I don't know what I would be, because this.
I'm trying to tell you.
Oh yeah, it's
this
nothing.
Guy talking about getting old. This guy on
there's
here.
no integrity in nothing, man.
No.
Like nothing. No morals, no foundation. And then like I said, if like they're there, but they're at the very grassroots, and that's the really only thing that's kind of left. So you really got to do your research for really good boxers, really good basketball players, really good artists. You know what I'm saying? Like your music right now, man. It's on a jukebox every month. They done took the whole control out of it. You know what I'm saying? So where there's no parity, there's no competition, there's nothing. It's just like this is what you're supposed to listen to. Like that's what it is. And if you don't do your own research, you won't know that there's some of the best artists in the world just making $20 a week, going on tour, making 15, 20, 25,000 a month, just struggling, but making the best music in the world, man. Like that's where the world is at right now.
You know what's weird? I hate to say this, R, because y'all know I'm not a big NFL fan. But the NFL is like the last tough, downright competitive, in your face. I really don't like you. They do the handshaking at the end of the game, but you can tell they're in. It's a physical sport to begin with, but when did everybody start hugging after basketball games? I missed something. When did this shit happen? I mean, different era. Used to be a time you lost, you went to your locker room, I went to my locker room, we passed each other.
Bro,
I never had a problem.
Imagine
about Isaiah Thomas walking off the court.
Yeah, imagine.
Why do you want to stay there and hug somebody? You lost.
Did I see that? Did you or anybody else happen to see like Charles Oakley or Mace?
Oh hell no! Stop right there. No.
You don't play basketball games and whatnot. Come on now, you already know the deal.
I met Anthony Mason in the Poconos at Strickland's, Mount Airy Lodge. I met him. He was eating. We said hi. He signed my son's hat. I was scared to walk up to this motherfucker. I'm serious. I was like, yo, I know who he is.
But to the basketball players' defense, the AAU changed that.
Yeah, of course.
These guys are in 6th, 7th, 8th grade playing on the same team, so they friends. They playing video games together.
But they get
the mansions. They play video games. One's in LA, one's in New York.
Right.
So I get from a sportsmanship standpoint, I like it's like football is a collision sport. It's not a contact sport. Basketball, I can shake your hand, Willis or Drew after. Plus, they trying to be representative of these kids and these youth, like all that fighting on that stuff. Like I know guys that they don't like a basketball game unless some Nick takes somebody's head off. Man, that's not basketball. Like, so that part I kind of understand. But and even in boxing, they want to send a message like this is a hand-to-hand combat sport. Somebody's gonna lose, but we're gonna shake hands at the end and send a message to these kids. So I'm all right with that. But when you have these goofy contests and you destroy what boxing, what the art of it is. I took karate. I didn't box. Yeah. But every time I had a full contact, I put my daughter when she was 6 in full contact. You shake hands out of respect for your opponent because we're not shooting each other, we're not stabbing each other. We're seeing who's more skilled, and afterwards we shake hands, and it's a matter of respect. So that part I get. But all the other stuff. I mean, even if y'all are friends off the court and stuff, like some of this stuff, basketball. I mean, I know you want to reduce fights and stuff, but you can't even defend somebody now. And somebody can dribble and shoot, they're gonna score 50. You can't touch anybody. I mean, no, I don't want to see rumbles and all this other stuff. I don't want to see what happened in Indiana or wherever that happened. Right. But I do want to see a competitive game where it's not who can get to score 150 points first. Like there has to be some defense has always been a part of basketball. That's why two-way players get more respect than guys that just score.
Right.
There you go. Exactly. Well, we already got that game coming up next week.
What?
that All-Star game where it's going to be like
y'all still watch that
215.
shit?
I don't watch that. I haven't watched that in decades. I ain't gonna lie.
Me either. Me either.
215 to
I ain't watch that
188.
shit.
You know, I'm like, come on now, it's ridiculous.
Well, much like football. Because I remember when that dude went up to catch that catch and dislocated his knee, and they said, "Okay, we can't have these guys doing this." The NBA is sooner or later going to start making it a gimmick too, because guys gonna be like,
"And already's a gimmick."
Yeah,
it's been.
Yeah, it's a clown. Yeah, it's a clown.
But even in the '90s, it wasn't all that competitive either. And that's another reason why those guys are friendly too. They hang out together. You got all-star teams where competitors are mixing, playing with each other. I'm gonna pick my friend to be on this team and all that stuff. You know, it's like it's you know, it's just, you know, that competitive stuff is out. It's a different era.
Right. I can name two all-star games that I remember, and maybe after that, that's when it started to be a shit show. It was the one where Rice, he had like 41, 44 points in that one.
Glenn Rice.
Yeah.
People forget about that monster.
Yeah. And then it was the Marbury and Iverson one where they combined to beat the West. That was the last one. That was the last one. That was the last
one of the last ones I watched.
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
Yeah. I haven't watched it in years, man. It's
nah. Well, let me take. I'm sorry. Let me take a left turn. If you want to keep talking about.
No, hell no.
I want to talk about what's next.
Yeah, look at this guy.
Oh, there you go. Oh, that's right. He's a Met fan. That's right.
The other team in New York.
I'm not a Met fan. I'm a diehard Met fan, and I
heard the other team in New York.
That's disrespectful.
Let him know. Let him know.
A diehard Met fan. Excuse me. So you got? Did you breathe a sigh of relief at this?
No.
Why not?
Pete Alonso was overrated. Pete Alonso is a power hitter that doesn't hit for power in the postseason. He bats about 230. He strikes out in every clutch moment. If you go back and look at his home runs, and I watch a lot of Met games, even though there's a lot of them, I watch a lot of them. He hits more solo home runs when we're either losing by 5 or up by 5 than anybody I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, no pressure. No pressure.
When it's clutch. The only thing I loved about this, he signed a 2-year deal, which was idiotic because he left a gang of money on the table. Next year, he won't be our first baseman anyway. It'll be either that kid Clifford that's in the minors that has more power to him and is a pure first baseman with the glove, or it'll be Vlad. So it works out good because he'll hit behind Soto and maybe have a resurgence, but we're not going to pay him a gang of money with a young prospect that makes pennies, and we need pitching or Vlad on the table who's 25. I think he'll be 26, and is just better than him. I mean, Vlad still plays third base. Like, you're going to take Vlad over Pete Alonso 10 out of 10 times. So it's good for the community. I think he was a good Met. He donated his home run ticket to them. Like, he seems like a good guy. I don't know him, but he seems like a great guy. But there's also rumors about what's going on in the clubhouse and how he felt and how he was a little abrasive and stuff. So anytime I see something like this, where you got a guy that won home run derbies and is beloved, and they having issues about the contract, there's always a backstory, and I kind of believe it. Like, something's not right with him and the chemistry in that locker room somehow, some way. But I don't know that for fact.
What did they give him? What's his contract? 25 mil?
2 years, 54 million.
Yeah, it's 27 mil.
Loaded. Yeah, it's front loaded, and he'll opt out if he has a great year, and if he doesn't, his contract is low enough where we can still sign Vlad, and he'll just DH.
Right.
But this is a perfect example of not taking the bird in the hand. And I'll never tell a dude not to bet on himself, but we offered him 7 years, I think 158 million, and he balked at it and walked away when he would have been the second or third highest paid first baseman. And it was guaranteed. You walked away from it. You hired this bozo agent that only represents the creme de la creme. That's the only person he gets money for. If you're mediocre, if you look at his resume, every mediocre, and when I say mediocre, they're still good, but I'm just saying not creme de la creme generational. They lose money. Blake Snell, I think was the recent one. Blake Snell thought he was Cy Young. He hired this agent. Nobody paid him, and now he got his money this year, but he just didn't learn his lesson. And I'm confident, so he believed in himself, but he made a grave mistake.
He made an error, right?
Yeah, he made a great mistake.
Who's Alonso's agent?
Scott Boras.
Oh Lord.
Still out there.
Soto with Scott Boras makes sense. Vlad getting Scott Boras makes sense. Pete Alonso getting him doesn't make any sense.
Right.
That's not the agent you get when you want a good relationship with the team and you want to get all this money, because Scott Boras will make you wait till spring training and then you sign a 1-year deal because nobody wants you. Like Pete Alonso should have saw when them first basemen started coming off, he has nowhere to go.
Right. Yeah.
And then the places he was go aren't conducive to home run hitters. So he could go there and hit 20 home runs, but now his value goes down. So he played himself.
Mm.
And then I believe we offered him $390. I have no way to confirm it, but you got offered 3 years, $90 million after leaving that money on the table. You got to jump on that.
Mm.
But he'll be inspired. He'll be hitting behind Soto. He'll probably have Vientos behind him. So we'll see what he has. He declined the last 2 years. So his numbers have gone down the last 2 years.
Right.
So, I mean, he's going to be playing for his life. So we'll see what happens. But without pitching, we in trouble anyway.
Mm. Well, I think they addressed some pitching concerns, if I'm not mistaken. They re-signed Manea. They got I'm not too sure what the book is on Frankie Montas.
Average.
And what about Clay Holmes? They're trying to turn him from a reliever into a starter. Well, at least with that, if he bombs out as a starter, he's experienced success as a reliever. Maybe kind of shaky on the closer side.
A long reliever. He's a long reliever. Mid-level, 6, 7.
And he's seen he's had 2 All-Star appearances in the last 3 years. So I mean, there is some success. I mean, I get it, Dom. I understand that.
I think he was an All-Star the last 2 years because he played for the Yankees and the division was horrible. So he had a lot of good. That division is horrible. And then you also got to look at it. Reliever's only good when you're winning by 1. So if your starter gets bombed, I don't care what your bullpen looks like. They have no value. So if you throw Senga out there who can't stay healthy, and he's the only really proven commodity, we have a 1-year wonder who we basically had to sign in Manaya. But I don't know what he's going to be. He's 30 and finally had a breakout year.
Right.
Who knows what he's going to be? Montes is what Montes is. He's probably above average, but he's no world beater. We have a pitching staff worse than the Phillies, worse than the Braves, and I don't even want to talk about the Dodgers because they're not even in our, but worse than the Dodgers. And they all have favorable lineups too. So you're not just going to outscore the Braves with Acuna coming back. You're not going to outscore the Phillies with Bryce Harper and all them boys, and nobody's going to outscore the Dodgers. So you're in trouble.
And that's why I said when they signed Soto, great sign, a lot of money, but you're still the 3rd best team in your division.
Right.
But what they did is, and I'm proud of their new GM. They didn't go and say, let's get a spending war and get the old 2 guys that they have.
I like that.
So our farm system has 3 second basemen, and we can trade 2 of them and still be all right. We got a backup third baseman. If Vientos goes to first, Mauricio, that's going to be a stud. All these dudes are under 25, mind you. So, yes, everybody wants to win the next year, but you have to factor long-term and short-term. So, will we beat the Dodgers? I don't think so. Are we a better team today than we were yesterday with the money to get even better in 2-3 years? Absolutely, and that's all I can hope for.
Right.
And when we do finally get pitching, think about this. We're going to have a 6-7 year window with dudes in their prime that are studs.
A lot of ifs.
That's what you want. You want an opportunity to win 6, 7, 8 years in a row.
That's a lot of ifs and ands.
Yeah,
you know what?
That's too many ifs and ands for me.
You know,
I never say that. Like,
it's
if the Yankees would have, I just look at the team you have, the team we have, the team they have, and I'm to the point now. I don't want to hear shit about money. I don't. Just cancel that shit. We was the evil empire. Now everybody's the evil empire. And ain't shit being said.
You know what? I like what you said about the general manager.
Yeah, I don't buy all that.
The difference with the Yankees, though, and that thing is overstated with that evil empire. Steinbrenner did spend more than everybody, but it wasn't that much more. And the thing that most people are mad about is he spent it on the right damn people. He had homegrown talent that Paul O'Neill
built around it.
Paul O'Neill is no Derek Jeter, but he was getting paid, and he was on that roster.
Right.
The Spanish guitar playing outfielder wasn't a world beater, Bernie Williams, but they gave their money to the homegrown talent because they always had a farm system. They paid enough people to have that whole team top to bottom, 1 through 9 bats and 3 or 4 pitchers. And every team could have did that if they grew their homegrown talent and paid their own people.
Yeah, and the Braves tried it back then. They actually,
the Braves killed my childhood. They 10 years in a row with Schultz and Chipper Jones and them. Like, maybe it didn't work out for them because they met the Yankees a couple times.
Right.
But I mean, as a fan, would I trade them 10 years as a Braves fan with the 10 years as a Mets fan? Absolutely. And
Hell
that's what the Mets are building to. Every year we're going to be in a discussion of we could win the World Series, and that's all you can hope for. And then you see how
I always said this: if you take the Yankees away, the Braves are the best team of the '90s.
Unequivocally,
yes, they're the best team of the '90s.
And if we're being honest, they lost a couple of those World Series because of bad luck. They were a better team.
Right.
How you up 2 games to nothing going home? Remember, they was up 2 games to nothing against the Yankees going back to Atlanta.
Exactly.
And you still can't sell out a World Series game.
Everybody's trying to give the Dodgers this, like Ohtani hasn't been hurt before, like Mookie Betts hasn't been hurt before, like Yamamoto is a proven commodity in America, regardless of what he did in Japan, and he's 22 years old and is already crying about making sure he can go home every day. Like the Dodgers haven't won anything, and you get into a hot streak. Like the Mets were not good enough to be in the position they were in last year. They got hot at the right time.
Yep.
And they got a little lucky. That happens again. That can happen for any team.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Sure.
I just think the Dodgers are even if they get hurt, they just got so many people on that fucking team, on that team that it's not like the Knicks. You know, if the Knicks lose Towns and Brunson at the same time, we're done. You know, again, baseball is a much longer season too, so you got time for them to come back. But shit, they could lose. They did. They lost Ohtani and Bettis for a period of time this year.
Right. I was going to say that, but I didn't want to hear it. Now I got to hear you say it, but go ahead.
No, I'm just saying. And I'm not saying it because they beat the Yankees. They went down the injury bug and just kept chugging along, got to the playoffs, kept chugging along, got to the World Series. And
the thing that's most scary about the Dodgers is if their whole lineups hits 200, have you seen a pitching staff?
Yeah, thank you.
I mean, if they lineup scores 2 runs, 3 runs, they can still win games. That lineup is ridiculous.
Yeah.
They have 5 number 1 starters, arguably.
Right.
And that's including Ohtani, who was lights out and nobody could hit anything he threw at the mound. It's like at the catcher. Like it's just crazy. But shout out to them for making their fans happy, man. I'm not mad at them. I hope we do the same thing.
Yeah.
I think we're building towards it. So we'll see what happens.
Right. Okay. All right.
And if you look at their payroll, it don't look crazy. The way they backloaded on them.
Oh yeah.
Well, that helps.
Yeah, when you look at their payroll, they up there. But they not where you think. If you look at that roster, you thinking they paying $700 million. They not. It's like $300 million and change. Where the Mets are, I think the Phillies are there, and I don't think the Braves are. I don't know how the Braves got Acuna for that price tag. That was crazy. But Acuna said, you know what? I grew up broke, and instead of doing what Alonso did and turn down an extension, he said, I'd rather have this $15-20 million now. He didn't know he was going to be an MVP, but he took it. You know, I'm sure he has enough money. He probably wish he had more, but he has enough to take care of his family. So, you know, the Braves are crafty, man. Yes, we'll see how losing that pitcher. Did Boston or the Yankees get that pitcher from the Braves?
Which one?
Oh, I forgot his name. It starts with an M. I try not to remember Braves players. I hate them. But he's good. Well, he's good though. But they had 3 or 4 starters anyway. We'll see how they bounce back. Either Boston or the Yankees got him. I want to say the Yankees got him, but I'm not.
I think it's the Yankees. I'm not 100% sure.
I'm almost positive it's the Yankees.
Yeah,
he's good. He's good. That's gonna hurt him. And Acuna, listen, that was a major injury. We'll see what happens when he comes back, though.
Right.
He's a stud, though.
Yes, he is. There's no question about that. Guys, let's move on to something that's happening Sunday, Super Bowl 59. Okay.
Something.
My man, you look traumatized for a second. What happened, man? What? Take your hands low. What is that? Is that better not be a New York Giants tag?
It is.
Yes, it is.
Oh my God!
But I'm not a hater though. The Eagles did their thing. I'm not a hater.
Okay. Yeah, obviously we got the Kansas City Chiefs going against the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm conflicted. I'm gonna be honest. I'm conflicted. Do I want to see history? Do I want to see a team win 3 consecutive Super Bowls? Got to be honest. I want to see it. Well, on the other side, hold on. On the other side of that, I want to see Saquon win as well. Okay, because again, you know they lowballed him. That team.
No, they didn't. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
They didn't lowball. They didn't lowball.
No. Please let that brother explain that, because I would love to know the tea on that. Please let me know, please.
Listen. I'm just saying they didn't pay him what he should have been paid.
Okay.
I'll just say that. How about that? Okay. So you let him hit the market. I knew immediately he was going to sign with Philadelphia. I just knew it. I felt it. He went to Philadelphia, had a monster year.
I know
Over
that.
2,000 yards rushing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, scoring touchdowns left and right, leading this team to the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You got to finish the story. He's got to finish the story.
Right.
When I say finish the story, Philly has got to win. I'm not picking them. I'm just saying I'm conflicted. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I can't root for anything Philly. Sorry. And I love Saquon from the Bronx. He's a Penn State alum. All that good shit. But maybe when he goes, I can't. I'm from New York. I can't root for Philly, Boston, LA.
I get it. I get it.
I got to talk to you about Penn State too. I forgot to tell you why I'm okay with them now, even though they're booty band at school. I'm okay.
Yeah,
you already know.
Okay. Yeah, I had to throw away my Penn State jersey after that coach, man.
Did you hear about why they say we are Penn State? Did you know that? You know that story?
Mm-mm.
No. So they say real quick, they were playing Texas at a racist time of the year, and Penn State had a black player. So when they came out, they were saying something to him, and that's what the chant said, "We are Penn State," and they embraced them. I heard that and cried. I said,
"Wow!"
And then it became even more prevalent with the Joe Paterno thing. They went back to that mantra of "We don't care what you're saying." It was supposed to be "We still," because what you're talking about, Craig, was "We are." What happened with Paterno was going to be "We still are Penn State," but somebody said, "Let's go back to that tradition we had." Because remember, during Paterno, that's how, I don't know if I ever told y'all, that's how I actually first attended Penn State. I was teaching at Penn State, and I ran across this little old bastard walking in the hallway, asking me, "What are you doing with your life?" I'm like, "Motherfucker, I'm wearing a uniform, man. What am I doing with my life?" But he took me down the hall. We had a little chat, and that's how it started. Ironic as it is. And then a few years later is when all that shit that we're talking about happened. So, but I'll tell you what, guys, not to get off base. Me and Craig have these conversations all the time. That coach got to go. I hate to say it. He can't win the big game. He always gets out coached in the big game. So we gave him a shot. You know, he's just not that guy, man. I liked him when we first got him because he was replacing a legend. And no, he just can't win. He can't win the big one, guys. He's almost like how Harbaugh was for years at Michigan.
That's different. That's different.
I mean, he couldn't win the big one either.
That's different.
Craig, you're in the toughest conference in football. You're in the Big Ten. You got to beat teams like Michigan, Michigan State, Ohio State. And now you throw in, who is it? UCLA, USC, all of these guys that joined the Big Ten. You got to be, sorry, guys, just me as a fan. I think we gave this guy enough rope. How do they say it in sports, guys? We need a new voice. I mean, come on.
I'm going to be honest.
I watch every Penn State game. You can ask this clown who only will text me back when Penn State starts losing. He disappears the whole game. And then when they drop the league, he'd be like, "Yo, what happened, dog?" I'm like,
"What happened? You quiet over there."
Yeah, this guy done fell asleep, woke up, and now he wants to text me. I'm like, "Get out of here."
Right.
He's a jinx. The one time he bet on Penn State, Penn State won. Or one of the, he always goes against Penn State. When he told me he bet on Penn State, I wanted to throw up. I was like, "This
and
son
they
of a
lost
bitch."
my money on my parlay.
And
they lost my money on the parlay.
Wow.
Let me tell you
but
why
anyway,
Penn State,
I don't know how we got
Penn
that
State
far.
and Notre Dame will never win a national title because they don't have enough boys from Florida with permanent gold teeth because of them rules. Until they change, they're not going to win.
Listen, you got to say this though. Penn State produces defense. They're a defensive oriented, going all the way back to LeVar Harrington. You know, we've always been known for our D until the guy we're talking about, Saquon Barkley, entered the picture. When he entered the picture at Penn State, this guy was like, I keep telling y'all guys, y'all have to remember, Dude was running back punts.
Right.
And
kickoffs.
And playing running back.
Right.
And getting 500 yards out the backfield, catching passes.
Right.
This kid was lightning in a bottle. And what did I say? Lord, don't let the Giants draft this kid. They're going to ruin his career. He's going to get
and they sure did.
They ain't got no offensive line. And you know what? Through all that shit people talk about when he was on the Giants, if I'm not mistaken, he still had 2,000 to 3,000 yard seasons. But everybody will talk about that one year he got hurt. And then one day I decided to look at his numbers. I'm like, and I can't get into why the Giants let him go. I don't know. I don't care. There was too many specifics with that. When he left the Bronx, he moved to Whitehall Township in the Allentown, Bethlehem area. That's Whitehall Township in PA, about 45 minutes from Philly.
Okay.
So he basically had that option to go home. I mean, shit, he grew up in the Bronx, moved to Whitehall, went to Penn State, and now the Eagles offer him a contract. Did anybody, honestly, guys, did anybody think he was going to do what he did?
Yes, I did.
You did?
Yeah. I was hoping.
I love the kid. I never thought he would do this.
No, Saquon Barkley, after his first year, Saquon Barkley had an outstanding rookie year.
Ooh,
then he comes back and he gets hurt. And I think he woke up and said, we're not good enough to win. Saquon Barkley has the most powerful legs I've ever seen and gets ankle tackled more than anybody in NFL history. So he was taking I'm not going to say he's taking plays off because I'm not going to question his competitive spirit, but he wasn't the monster that he could have been or that he was at Penn State. The reason why we didn't sign him is you don't give a running back a gang of money when you're horrible. When you get a running back like the Eagles did when you got a number one receiver, a number one B receiver, a top 5 tight end, and a top 10 offensive line. That's when you get a Saquon Barkley. We weren't in a position to give Saquon Barkley all of the stuff so that he could run for 1,000 yards, probably get hurt, win 6 games, and that's it. I'm happy for Saquon Barkley as a human being, and I'm happy for the Giants because that's not the opportunity to go buy a thing. Like, that's like buying a sports car and you don't even have a damn house. You got to have priorities on it when you're building these teams. And it's football, so you got to be very careful how you spend this money. Plus, running back is probably the most replaceable position in the NFL.
Probably.
They keep saying
not like
that.
Quarterback.
Probably.
They keep saying that, but when you look at this year with Henry, with Saquon, now I just looked it up. 3 out of the 6 years he played for the Giants, he rushed for 1,000 yards. 1 year he had 962. I have a good friend of mine who sells cars. Actually, sold me mine. Diehard Eagles fan. He got mad at me. I said, "Man, that's some petty shit, man. That they wouldn't even let him play the first half to break that record." To play. I understand, guys. Don't get me wrong. I'm not that. But I thought it was Bush League. Like, okay, you put him out there for maybe a half. If you don't get it, we pull him. And he still has the next week off. Remember, the Eagles had a bye. So he was like, oh, that's not Bush League. Darn, they're looking at the bigger picture. Winston, I understand that. Trust me. But we're talking about history. And we're talking about shutting Eric Dickinson's punk ass up, who all he could talk about is an extra game. But Barkley was on the verge of breaking his record with like 200 less carries. I just wanted this shit.
Eric Dickinson. Don't disrespect.
He was the one disrespecting Barkley.
That's not
he
nice.
played more games. Shut your ass up.
That's not nice.
Bitch ass. Shut up.
That's not nice.
Bitch ass.
Nice.
He's a bitch ass. Get that. When somebody goes to break your record, you're supposed to embrace that shit. Not say he played one more game, but he had 200 less carries.
You talking about the same organization that benched Eli Manning so they could start a black quarterback so people would stop saying it because they never drafted him? What do you expect from the Giants? This is what we do.
No, but I'm talking about Dickinson. Just shut up. Let this kid have his fun. Let him have his shine. And the Eagles did the Bush League shit. And what was he short, guys? 90 yards, 100 yards, maybe? I forgot what the total was.
Oh, you talking about for the 2000?
Yeah, he had 2005. I forgot how close he was to the record.
But he agreed to that decision.
Exactly.
Yeah, but you come on, stop right there, Craig. You saw his face when they asked him that question. Come on, we all don't have to be super duper interpreters. His face said they really don't want me to play, so I'm going to take one for the team and say,
no. See, you know what he messed up. You know what he messed up.
Played one half and broke that record and went to bed.
He messed up because he was a company man when he was with the Giants.
Mm.
So then you go to the Eagles. Now you're going to be selfish and try to go for this record in a position where one hit could end your career and you don't get a Super Bowl, or you're going to take one for the team, do what's smart, sit out, so you have the best chance to try to win a Super Bowl. You want to be a company man, so this is what you get.
Right, but you could have it. That could happen the first play from scrimmage in his first playoff game. That's why I say, guys, I never get into the ifs and ands and pots and pans. All I'm saying is, give him a shot. You have a bye week. Give him a shot. Let him go for this record.
No, you don't do that. You don't do that.
Yeah.
You remember that Miami running back said, "I'm gonna play in the bowl game because I'm gonna do it for my team instead of getting ready for the draft." Which is why I don't get mad at these kids that don't want to play in bowl games. He tore every ligament in his knee. He ended up getting drafted by Baltimore in the 3rd or 4th round. But listen, you did this company man team stuff. You can't go chasing no record when you have a chance to win a Super Bowl at a position that could end your career any given carry. You don't take that. Can he get hurt in the first playoff game? Absolutely. But you better get hurt in the first playoff game rather than chasing a record that doesn't matter to the team. Football is the ultimate team sport. More than baseball, more than basketball, more than anything. Football is the ultimate team sport. Everybody's dependent on somebody else, which is why he was close to 2,000 yards, because he had a running back, a quarterback, he had an offensive line, and he had 2 receivers and a tight end that were decoys, but he could run the ball like he did. He would have had nowhere near that playing for the Giants. He probably would have got killed or hurt.
And that's what basically happened to him playing for them. And he, like I said, he still had 1,000 yards 3 times. And
1,000 yards is not the same. 1,000 yards.
I'm just saying that's still the kicker. And playing on a team like the Giants, if he rushed for 1,300 yards on the Giants, that's equivalent to 2,000 yards on any other team. Because think of what he was going up against when getting that 1,300 yards on the Giants. Shit.
Well, see, when you understand metrics and mathematics, like the 1,300 yards, but he would have had 150, 200 more carries too, and his average was going down every year. He was averaging like 3.1 yards per carry, as opposed to like 3.6 or 7. So a lot of that stuff plays a role, and you're going to take a beating getting to them 1,000 yards, and it wasn't worth it. It worked out for both. It works out for both of them. Because he didn't give us the value we needed to pay him that much. He gives Philadelphia a bunch of value. And getting to my Super Bowl pick, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna be perfectly objective. I don't see how the Eagles lose this game, and it's not because of Saquon Barkley. That boy Carter on that defensive line is gonna give them fits. When I tell you fits, that defense on the Eagles is gonna give that boy fits, and the Eagles are gonna score. The Eagles are gonna throw that wide receiver boy that showed up driving that Honda Civic. I like he got his priorities in order. He's gonna be a monster. The other wide receiver, the tight end. And Saquon Barkley is going to have 150, 160, 170 combined yards. And they're going to be able to run the ball against Kansas City. And that boy Carter is Aaron Donald reincarnated. He's unblockable.
I can't go against what I said,
Okay.
I don't have no nickel in this dime, so I'm just going for history.
And don't forget that number 3
That's all.
I'm putting my money on the Eagles.
Who's
it's
favorite?
a business decision. I hate them.
Right.
I hate Dallas more, but I hate them. But when I look at them and I stack them up, I think Kansas City has been extremely lucky in a weak division, much like Tom Brady when he won all them championships and had to go against Miami, Buffalo, and the Jets, which is basically a cakewalk to a bye week and a home field. And I don't think they're as good as they are on paper. They won a tough game against a tough team in Buffalo, but Buffalo gave that damn game away.
Seems like they do it all the time when they play them.
Exactly.
Not gonna happen with the Eagles.
So just so I'm clear, right? Saquon Barkley overachieved in Philly this year. Like he ain't do none of that in New York.
No, I just think he had a better team.
Okay.
I think he went to a team that really gave him the ability. That offensive line is phenomenal. But do you see some of the holes he was running through? I could have ran through them.
Yeah.
I run like a 6'1", 40. I mean, like that's like almost like Barry Sanders. If you took Barry Sanders off the Lions and put him on a functional team, that record would be unbreakable. Eric Dickerson would have been crying 20 years ago.
Yes.
And that's why football is the ultimate team sport. When you put a guy on a better team, even look at Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry is a monster. He wasn't doing that in Tennessee. You put him on a team with a quarterback, some wide receivers, a little system, and offensive line. He's unstoppable.
When they not concentrating on him 8 in the box. Yeah. So
he
you know what I'm saying?
he was still a beast on that team too.
He was, but he wasn't the beast he is today.
Right.
So
Shit.
I'm actually giving up my my football boycott and watching the Super Bowl, man.
Okay.
I'm gonna watch the Super Bowl.
How long you been boycotting?
2 years after Kaepernick.
I boycotted for 3.5 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just stopped watching. I just stopped watching for 2 years. It wasn't a boycott. I don't give a fuck about a boycott. I had nobody to watch.
Yeah, I dig it. I dig it. I do though. You know what I'm saying? But I gave it up because when them brothers got galvanized and got together, and then somebody in there said, "Hey, go 25 mil." Strange thing, right? The fucking C's parted, and I was like, "Well, goddamn." I was like, we ain't see no protests. We ain't see where that 25 mil went. So I was like, you know what? I mean, because I was through with it with the slave system in college, much less anything else, man. But I'm like, here's a chance where y'all could have made some really big changes.
Shut up.
And you didn't. And you just didn't. And the same shit that always fuck us up happened.
Oh, no.
You get the motherfuckers at the top. He's like, we went up in there and protested for freedom. We came out with jobs. You know what I'm saying? What the like for that. So but you know what? I miss this shit so much, kid. I'm not gonna lie. I miss football, man.
I'm just working on the menu. That's all.
Who's your team?
I was a diehard Giant fan till Dan Reeves. You know what I'm saying? So and then I actually switched over to the Jets when Parcells and him and Curtis Martin came.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So I was there. I was on the Jets since then.
Let me give R a wake up call. Ronan might have been on too. You remember that shit we talked about, R?
What's that?
During all that time, and Goodell came out with that speech.
Yeah.
And I started saying this motherfucker sounds like Sam Cooke. I kept running that line. Change gonna come, and ain't shit happen.
Ain't shit happen.
The NFL moseyed along so well, they added a game. Remember, they added a game after that shit. I'm like, see, you NFL fans, keep that shit. You can attest to this too.
Yeah,
there was times I would talk football, and I would just go silent.
Yeah. I wouldn't even say a word. You wouldn't say a word. I was like, damn, is he still there or what? You know what I'm saying?
Remember, guys, we started this long before we met y'all on the phone.
Right.
So we couldn't see each other. So
exactly.
I don't know what they was thinking, but I would just put my phone on mute.
I was like,
just sit there and listen to these guys talk football.
His name is still there. He ain't saying shit. But he must have problems with his phone or something.
And then they would tease me, Craig. They would say, "We're gonna talk football." Oh shit, Dom.
he ain't gonna.
I started getting back involved.
Exactly.
I hate the NFL, man. It's the most bullshit league.
After I left them for 3.5 years, and I'm not even gonna lie, I probably missed more Giants than I ever have in my life. I'm not into it like I was. I'll watch it, but if somebody calls and says, "Hey man, meet me over here. Let's go grab some brunch or something," I'll turn it off and leave. Before
exactly.
I turn my phone off. Don't call me when the game is over.
I will say this, Greg. I stopped watching. R might know. I stopped watching because of my son. We weren't even football fans. We would just hang out on Sunday. So when he left, I stopped watching. And it must have been like going on the second Super Bowl. And my wife came to me and said, "You got to stop this shit. How about I make some food?" Craig met my wife. She said, I'll sit down and watch the game with you. I'm like, I can't do it, honey, because I keep looking across and there's nobody sitting there.
Right.
So this is like, and to be honest, Dave, I don't like the NFL that much anyway. So it wasn't like I was sacrificing the lamb for some dumb shit. But I will say that, R, the one guy that asked me constantly for 2 years, "How you doing, Dom? You okay?" R actually led me back into the water to at least watch Red Zone. And then I started
Mm.
doing what I do,
Mm.
going by myself, got all this food in front of me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, by halftime, I'm nodding the fuck out.
Yeah, no, yeah.
So that's what I look at the Super Bowl now. You know, my wife will put some shit together.
Right, right.
And that's it for me. You know, sometimes I don't even make it to the third quarter, depending on how the game is going.
I hear you, brother.
Because I'm not that interested. Plus, I'm a Jets fan, so
yeah,
it's kind of painful to watch football.
Nothing to root for. Exactly.
Yeah, nothing. Yeah. Even when I was in it, man, I was like after Parcells, it was downhill. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, come on, man.
I'm a Chad Pennington Sanchez reject. You know what I'm saying?
Are the Jets the longest standing team that hasn't been to the playoffs or have a playoff win?
Oof.
No.
I think
playoffs. No.
Man.
Nah, can't be. Not playoffs.
Playoff win.
Playoff win. They won.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
That was 24 years ago, I think.
They haven't won since then, a playoff game?
Ever since they went to that conference championship back to back. Remember that? With Sanchez, the butt fumble.
Oh, okay, right.
The Jets went to the AFC championship twice.
Cleveland got to be in there. In Detroit, I think
it was. I was going to say, Craig, it was Detroit till last year.
I was just about to say Detroit.
But it got to be Cleveland.
I'm glad y'all keep talking. I'm pretty sure it's the Jets.
You know what I'm saying?
Jacksonville an expansion team. Let me think.
I would say,
but if they're an expansion team, Craig, they haven't been in that long.
Yeah, they haven't been that long. I'm just going in my head who it could be. I would say Cleveland. I knew Detroit broke their streak. I would have to say Cleveland would be the only one I could think of that might be
top of your head. Exactly. Who else?
Maybe the Raiders.
It's
been a long time for them. Not Denver.
No, not that long.
Not that. Yeah, right.
The Tuck game was what, 2016 maybe? Or I don't know when it was.
Now I want to know because I'm interested in knowing.
Yeah.
Right. What the hell?
I always, even though I'm a Giant fan, I always like the Jets.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, like you had to Parcells. When you seen Parcells over there, you said, I know. I ran.
The Jets,
even before that, though, because remember,
I stand corrected.
Now they have the Giants and the Jets playing at the same time.
The Jets are second.
It was 1 o'clock, 4 o'clock, and they both was on. So you would watch
the
them.
Jets are second.
Ronan said the Raiders haven't won a playoff game since
22 years. 22 years. The Jets are 14 years.
The Raiders.
I said the Raiders. Y'all said no way.
Yeah.
I told y'all.
It's the Raiders.
Once I thought about it, I said it's the Raiders. And Cleveland
That's
won
crazy.
the playoff game. I forgot who was their quarterback though.
The Raiders?
Yeah, 22 years.
Yeah. Actually, 22, 23 years.
Yeah.
Remember, they out there. Who's in their division? Kansas City, right? Denver.
Yeah.
Kansas City, Denver.
Denver was strong for a minute. Yeah, the Raiders. Yeah.
Yeah.
They got some loyal fans too because they horrible.
They gotta be. They gotta be. They gotta be, Lord. They ain't got no choice.
And the Redskins probably broke their streak too. Because they was out of it for a while.
They was out of it for
who?
The Redskins.
Redskins, Washington. Or the Commanders.
Nope.
Commanders, excuse me.
The Bears. The Bears are third. The Bears are tied with the Jets.
Yeah, but the Washington must have just broke their streak. They had to be double digits.
They had to be. I would definitely say so. But then again, wait, wasn't it a year when Kirk Cousins took them to the playoffs?
Yes. You might be right. Might not have been that long. You're right, maybe right. That's how he got that contract.
Right, exactly.
He bet himself both years, and I think he won playoffs.
Here's what it is. The longest appearance, the last appearance in the postseason, the Jets are number one. Not wins, appearance. 14 years.
Yeah, that's
the
Raiders went and lost.
Yeah, exactly. The Jets have the longest non-appearance. That's some shit, man.
That's a long time.
You're not a fan unless you
2010.
You're not a fan of your team unless you watch them when they're horrible. That's what I.
That's reality.
If you can sit there and say, "All right, I'm not messing with because they stink."
Yeah, that's true.
If I'm not mistaken,
I don't believe in multiple jerseys. Right? I don't believe in that. Like that's not. It's. I mean, on the low. You know what I'm saying? Like again. Now that we was talking. I always used to like the Eagles. I don't have a problem with the Eagles women because I loved McNabb. You know what I'm saying? I loved Cunningham. You know what I'm saying? I loved them dudes. So it was low key, like, you know, rah rah rah. But I ain't never bought them cats jerseys, right? I ain't never, you know, like openly, you know, rooted for them dudes. You know what I'm saying? You know, so it's like you can't be a fan if your team, if you ain't rocking with your team when they garbage, that's not real fandom.
Every
your
jersey I
front line.
have, I never wore. Willis Reed, Tony Gwynn, Steph Curry, and Derek Jeter. I've never worn either one of them jerseys.
Okay.
I
Two of them were gifts.
I knew this guy had a Derek Jeter.
Three of them were gifts. The Jeter, the Curry, and the Willis Reed. Those were gifts. I actually bought the Tony Gwynn jersey. Never wore it. Remember the old brown one with the yellow letters?
Yes,
right.
That's the one I have.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
See, and it was bad for me because I came up with in the throwback era. You know what I'm saying? And I had a Elway. You know what I'm saying? I had a Elway when ain't nobody had no Elway.
I never had a football jersey.
Yeah.
When they had them throwbacks, I had Jim Brown. I think I had Barry Sanders.
Nice.
I would buy.
Yeah, I had a Barry. I would
buy a Kaepernick jersey, but it wouldn't be because of the Niners. It'd be because of Kaepernick, and I believe in what he did. Okay. Other than that, if I'm wearing it, it ain't because I'm a fan. It's because that player did something like.
Yes, sir.
You notice the ones I have. Willis Reed, Derek Jeter, Tony Gwynn.
Tony Gwynn is
my friend lives in outside of San Francisco. When he came to visit, he gave me the Curry one. Remember the black one with the V-neck? They wore the black one with the short sleeves and the V-neck.
Yeah, the Curry one I don't
That's
understand.
the Curry one.
The Curry one I don't understand.
Yeah, and but he was from California, so season ticket holder. He thought I was gonna wear the shit. I'm like, I ain't wearing that shit, man. It'll go in a frame somewhere. You know, my grandson will enjoy this shit down the road, but
right.
I ain't wearing that shit. No.
Hilarious.
I'm not that guy, man. I'm a Knicks fan.
Speaking of Knicks,
and here we go.
Yeah, there was the earthquake. The earth moved on one particular trade involving in Dallas, relocating in LA.
That's
great move
for Dallas.
Yeah.
Great move for Dallas.
Thank you.
Oh, I thought you were going to say for LA. Okay, great.
Dallas could win the West if they can beat OKC.
Yeah, exactly.
Of course, we're assuming AD is healthy. Of course.
Right. Of course. I agree.
Right. Right.
They traded Luka Doncic. They traded Luka Doncic, who was walking down the hallway before a game drinking a can of beer, for Anthony Davis. Granted, he's injured, but when he wasn't, he won a chip that plays defense, block shots, rebounds, and can score 30. And is unselfish, doesn't talk to the refs.
Right.
The health is always an issue. So that side, they took a shot on a guy that stays hurt for another guy that's 25, drinks beer, plays no defense. He's a stud. Plays no defense. And guys got to be looking at him like, what are you doing? There's a backstory to why he got traded.
That's what I said, Greg.
He's showing up late to practice. He did something to somebody's wife. He just did something stupid. And they said, you know what? Good or not, enough is enough. Give us AD. Let's see if it works out. Kyrie is a good point guard. PJ Washington got better. Gafford looks like he could be something. And we can get something from the 2 position. We got a chance.
Right.
Do y'all realize, I know somebody had to do the research when this happened. This is one of Anthony Davis's best years since 2017.
Get the fuck out of here, really?
I didn't do the research though, but you can if you look at the stats and watch the games, he's dominating.
He's dominating,
shit, guys. Serious. He's playing his ass off this shit.
Okay.
And here's the funny thing, man, not no pun intended, but somebody cracked a joke, not me. Anthony Davis kept telling the Lakers, we need a big. They sent him to a team with 2 big. So, but the funny part about that is now he goes back to playing the position he wanted to play.
That 4, yeah.
So now you take him and Kyrie Irving. Guys, For those that
that's Lob City.
For those that want to hang their hat on all the crazy shit Kyrie said, did, God bless you. God bless you.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll tell you what, guys, to this day, I don't think nobody could stop him. And guess what? You give up Luka, as I always told you, are the white version of James Harden. Dribble, shoot or pass at the last minute.
Right.
For a guy like Kyrie Irving, shit.
Man, listen,
I'm with it.
Especially this Kyrie Irving is different.
Right.
Yes.
The worst thing that ever happened to Luka was that little slow mo they keep on playing assorted music on where he diving for it and he throw it up and pass it to Kyrie and then pass it and Kyrie pass it to Jones. And with the alley oop and they always put like ballet music on it and stuff like that. It's just like it was too picturesque, and it's like it was like, yo, you facilitated that, but you didn't end that. And that whole year that was happening, Kyrie was showing them that he was, you know what I'm saying? Because Kyrie didn't say nothing. They're not controversial. He ain't do no movement Sean shit. He ain't like no insane. He ain't do nothing. He was like, I'm playing ball.
That's it.
And he did that, and he played way better than Luka Doncic. You feel me? Like his play was way better than his. It was like Luka couldn't sustain nothing he did past the third and a half quarter. And he come out the locker room breathing hard.
But did y'all think that Dallas didn't watch the NBA Finals and see how he was overly exposed?
Right. No. Everybody saw that. Everybody on earth saw that.
His defense never has been in question. Never. And just think, guys, when Lively comes back, PJ comes back, Anthony Davis, guys, if they get healthy at the right time, I don't think OKC could beat them. I don't give a shit how good OKC is playing right now.
And OKC is playing well.
Yes, they are. Best record in baseball.
Let's just throw that out there.
Yeah.
I don't know about
and you know what? I don't know if y'all
throw that out there.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys heard, but who did Cleveland just pick up?
Travis Hunter.
From Atlanta.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They got Hunter.
They got who?
Hunter. From
Hunter.
DeAndre Hunter?
Yeah, DeAndre,
Who did they give up?
Karis LeVert, it was one.
Karis and Niang and some trades.
Yeah,
they gave up nothing. That's a good pickup.
Oh no, that's
I think Atlanta kind of messed us up. They should have did this tanking mode earlier. They gave up Bogdanovich too.
Listen, I was telling my brother, man, arguably, as formidable a starting five as us.
Who? Cleveland?
Yeah, Cleveland. Yeah.
Easily, I agree. Garland.
Yeah. Like arguably, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you could dissect the whole situation, whatever, man. But listen, you got them. You got Richard Pryor and Mobley on the front court. You know what I'm saying? Then you got the Cat Hunter starting at the 3, and you got Garland. Have any of y'all seen the way Garland was playing this year?
How long ago have I said this with that Garland guy?
You know, you did. I thought pressure was busting his pipes for the last couple of years, but I didn't know he was going through some mad stuff. This is like the first year, maybe even the beginning of the summer, where he wasn't interfered with a lot of stuff, a lot of personal stuff. Like he is running through cats right now.
But you know what? You know what? Live, we had this conversation. Me, you, Steve, and all. I think me and R had it too.
Okay.
Cleveland decided we're gonna run this shit back. Okay, we got ousted. We got ousted in a couple of playoffs, but we're gonna run this back. Mobley has not even touched his peak. Garland is finally at his peak. Mitchell is going to be Mitchell.
Right.
Let's keep it a buck.
Right.
And them two big guys together, everybody thought this was crazy. But you know what?
Nah, they playing.
Didn't the team go to the NBA Finals last year or the conference finals with two bigs? Minnesota, Gobert and Towns.
That's not what happened.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what happened?
Mm-hmm.
Cleveland went and got the coach that the Knicks should have got instead of Tibbs. Like I told you when we were looking for a coach.
Say that louder.
He has revamped everything because he's a 2025 NBA system offense and defense coach that knows how to sub and use his entire roster. I told you we should have hired him and not Tibbs for years. You know this is true. Now they got him and they look unbelievable with the same exact people. And
because,
you
but
can say
again,
they matured, but I don't care.
But they ran the continuity back. Sooner or later,
I don't care.
I don't care who was coaching them. Sooner or later, these guys were going to grow together, learn together, win. I mean, come on, guys.
Did Cleveland lose to the Pistons? I think the Knicks did, right?
We damn sure did. Yeah,
under 500 team because the Knicks do. Tibbs is terrible. Let me tell you something. They have a stat where they have named 3 players who played the most minutes together. It's 7 of them. All 7 are Knicks players in different combinations. We're gonna die after All-Star break. We're gonna lose in the playoffs.
No, he already stopped that. Dummy. We already starting to play the bench.
This
we
is
didn't
a true
have no
stat
bench.
from this year.
No, that's a stat from this year. Yeah.
It's on social media everywhere. It's a true stat.
Who did we have coming off the bench?
It doesn't matter. Develop him.
Kane was
hurt. Coach, let him
develop who? Keep saying develop. How many guys have gotten?
He had this
how many guys have gotten paid?
He had this backup center on the bench after he'd been killing all summer league.
Oh, come on. Now we're going to say that because the guy, Hot 40.
You got to play him.
Yeah, Hot 40.
You got to play him. You got to play him, bro.
It's nice to say that when he has 2 decent games. Come on. I fail to believe that a coach who sees these guys in practice 10 times more than we ever will see them is going to say to himself, I really don't feel like winning, so I'm not going to play Craig.
It's not the first time he's done it.
Really?
Yeah.
He's done it everywhere he's been.
That
so
just goes to show that I don't take this the wrong way. If you don't like the coach, then you don't like him. You will find ways to say you don't like him. So, but
I don't.
You know what?
I just don't think. I just don't think. I don't think he's
the best record in basketball. Missing one of their key players, had no bench for like 3/4 of the season, and they got the 5th best record in basketball.
Wow.
My problem with Tibbs is everybody talks about him like he won a championship. He's won nothing. The only thing he's known for is underachieving.
Who's Cleveland's coach?
He's underachieved in the postseason every year.
Who's Cleveland's coach?
You could take Cleveland coach and say,
what's his name?
When he was with the Nets with no talent and just
what's his name?
He won 20 more games.
What did he win? What does he win?
Oh, that's not. Come on, man.
Come on, Craig. You're talking ifs and ands again.
Bro, this is his first head coaching opportunity. Come on.
We'll see how it ends.
Yeah, stop.
It's his second. He coached the Nets.
He coached the Nets.
Oh,
yeah.
excuse me. Two teams.
You won how many championships? Come on. Again, you take.
They don't talk about him like he won championships. I love Tibbs is the greatest coach in the world.
No, I didn't say that. He's the best coach the Knicks had since Red.
When he was in New Jersey, he could have been coach of the year. Didn't he take that? Didn't he take
better than Riley
team to the playoffs? Did he take the Nets to the playoffs that year?
Yeah, I will never put Riley and Van Gundy in any category because they 2 bitch ass quitters. So don't put their shit in no category. They just quitters, so they don't get no respect.
You know what? I can't. I plead the 5th on that.
I love the fact. I
plead the 5th on that.
I love the fact that Van Gundy came out and said it was his fault. It had nothing to do with Dolan. And you all remember, guys. Don't act like y'all forgot. Oh, I'm burnt out on basketball. I got it. And a year later, the Rockets get McGrady.
Yeah, him and the Rockets.
And he ain't burned out. I'm like, get out of here. You quit now. Get out of here.
Yeah.
The fuck out of here. Tibbs is the best coach we had since Red Holtzman. Matter of fact, the numbers prove that shit. So we can say what we want. But here's the funny thing, Craig.
Yes.
The NBA is a players' league until the players lose. I'll leave it at that.
Huh?
Yeah, y'all got quiet, didn't y'all?
I mean,
it's a players' league until the players lose, and then it's everybody else's fault. It's Frank Ntilikina's fault. It's the hot dog vendor. It's the owner. It's the coach. It's it's Dom.
Frank
It ain't the players no more.
Now I'm lost with that Frank analogy. He's a bum.
Well, you got the right guy on the line when you got the line. We talked about this.
Yeah, I used to kill that dude.
Do you know
I put him over the. No, hell no. I used to put him over the coals. I used to rake his ass raw. You know
He
what I'm
was
saying?
selling
Like
hot dogs.
nah, I hated that dude. I hated him because he was the poster child for tankism.
Mm.
Do you know
You
what
know what I'm saying?
happened
They
after
kept
him?
him. They Fizdale actually started him one season at the small forward, and he averaged 25 minutes throughout his career.
Mm.
Now again, it's why couldn't he not be who Phil Jackson thought he was in 25 minutes in 4 years? You know what I'm saying? He's a bum. He's a horrible. He was Brick
3.3.
City.
Let's not forget, guys. You can say what you want about Tibbs, Leon Rose, but between Phil Jackson and Carmelo Anthony, they set the Knicks back 5 years, and we was already behind the 8 ball, and they set us back 5 more years. Remember, the Knicks only won 1 second-round playoff win in 20-something years.
Right, that's crazy.
One, and then got
Okay.
smoked by Indiana in that second round. Call it the curse of Patrick Ewing.
We got smoked by Roy Hibbert and all of a sudden being on this verticality bullshit.
You made the playoffs 3 times since Patrick Ewing left and only went to the second round once. Here comes Thibodeau. We only missed the playoffs once. But it's a players' league. I get it. It's a players' league. Until the players don't win. Then it's our fault. Then it's Dom's fault. Then it's everybody's fault. It ain't the players' fault. It's a players' league, though. That's why I love the NBA. The NBA is nothing but a gimmick league, and everybody wants to complain about this, that, and the other thing. And then you take, like we're talking, trade, deadline. You take a guy like Jimmy Butler, who is owed $52 million. That's on his time. Remember, he's getting 40-something mil. He's getting 40-something mil this year, has a player option to opt out of 52 mil next year. So you can't sit here and tell me
they gave him 112 extension though, right?
Yeah, exactly. 60 million.
Crazy.
Yeah, $60 million for a 37-year-old. He'll be 37 when that contract kicks in. But you're gonna sit here and blame your organization who gave you the $110 million and gave you 52 mil next year with your option to say I'm out.
Right. Yeah, I don't know.
But that ain't a reason people ain't watching the NBA. It's the players are shooting too many threes. No, I think some fans are just fed up with this bullshit that I can sign a contract on the 5th and then on the 8th say I don't want to be here no more. And I don't want to hear the shit. Well, the team can trade them. That's been in existence forever. This player empowerment has gone too far. You can just sit here and say I don't like my contract because I don't like the team. I don't like Craig no more because he don't shave right. So I want to go to wherever. Hey, come on, man. It just don't make no sense. And then you got Commissioner Bobblehead that does nothing but try to create more smoke and mirrors to try to fucking camouflage the dumb shit that he's been doing and the NBA has been doing and tolerating and shoving down the fans' ass for about 5 years. Come on, man. The gig is up, man. Fuck the gimmicks. Matter of fact, cancel the All-Star game. That shit's a joke. Ain't nobody watching that shit no more. Give these guys 2 weeks off. Since it's all about rest, they need rest. So we almost got a month off between the All-Star game and the next game. So just let them have 2 weeks off. You want to help the league? Let them have some rest because that's all everybody talks about, right? Rest, load management, too many minutes. I shot too many jumpers. Let them have, 10 days off. Come back fresh and play the rest of the season out. Because who's watching this shit, guys? Come on. You said it when we opened this shit. I don't watch it no more.
Listen, I don't.
Me either.
Now, I will say this in regards to that All-Star weekend. The game I don't watch. Yeah, I'll watch the slam dunk, whatever. But even now, that's becoming Because again, I'm like, have you heard about these participants? I'm like, who the hell are these guys?
Who's in it this year? Huh? Does anybody know?
No.
Craig, you know who's in the slam dunk contest?
No, I don't care. They need
I don't
the
watch that.
NBA has bad marketing because what they should do, first of all, this is another contest where I hope nobody gets hurt, but they should take these street dunk balls. These street dunk ballers take the 5, 6 best dunkers in the NBA, have them pick a street baller to represent them, let them represent them in the dunk contest because this is what they do. They dunk.
Right.
And then give the money to charity or let one of the top
Okay.
dunkers win money or do something like that. Like they need to change the whole concept and bring back some excitement because it's not exciting. Most of these guys are the 12th man on the bench. Some of them can't even dunk. Like, did you even see them dunk before you put them in this damn contest? They were terrible.
It's crap.
Yeah, it's garbage.
And everybody says, "Oh, LeBron wasn't in the dunk contest." LeBron is making $50 or $60 million. I ain't talking about this year at 40, but you're not making $300 million from Nike, $50 million in the contract, blah blah, and gonna go out here and do some circus dunks, twisting in the air for nothing. Like that's
and you're not going to tarnish your legacy with doing that. You know what I'm saying? Like, why would you?
I think with all the changes the NBA has made, I think the one that they're avoiding is not doing this shit no more. Whose feelings are they going to hurt, guys? I understand that. Where's the All-Star game this year? San Francisco, right?
Yes.
Okay, right. I understand the logistics and the financial assistance it gives said city for that weekend, but I don't think the ends justify the means, guys. I mean, we're talking about the NBA who wants to be so righteous behind everything, who took the All-Star game from Charlotte because our governor said a man's bathroom is a man's bathroom, a woman's bathroom is a woman's bathroom. They took the All-Star game from Charlotte. They actually gave it back a few years later, but because our governor said that, the NBA, with its moral standards, said, "Oh, we can't play there." Really?
That's crazy.
Okay,
I didn't know that.
Right. Yeah. All right. So Charlotte suffered that financial aid for that whole weekend, and because the governor and probably 80% of the fucking state believes a man's bathroom is a man's bathroom. I mean, we ain't reinventing the wheel here, are we? I mean, yeah. So the NBA is done with the gimmicks, guys. Come on, live. I say all the time, but
these guys don't want to compete, man.
Yeah, exactly. But I'll leave it at this. I say it all the time, but my brother Live is the one that came up with the sippy cup. That is not me. That was Live. Live came up with the sippy cup because we was cracking jokes about this another gimmick. It's another gimmick for the league to do what? Come on, guys. Every one of these games in the sippy cup are regular season games. Right? The only game that don't go against your record is the championship game for the sippy cup. It's a regular season game, and you're trying to make this shit out to be.
And I was happy we lost because we got spoke for like almost a week for late rest. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and here's the funny thing before Ronan gets on it, but people don't realize. Like when you lose, I'll take Boston for example. When Boston got knocked out of the Sippy Cup tournament, remember, guys, when you get knocked out, there's no schedule. They create a schedule after you get eliminated.
Right.
The Celtics ended up playing the 5 worst teams in the NBA.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
And they was the second seed. They're the second best team in the Eastern Conference. Right. And they played the 5 worst teams after they got bumped. And to Lai's point, when the Knicks got bumped, they were so jacked up, the Knicks almost had a month off before they played another game. Because nobody thought this shit through. Like, oh, shit, our advance. Oh, he can't play that team. This team can't play that team. And this shit became a joke, man. Serious. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Ronan. I'm sorry. Oh.
No, just we are talking about the All-Star game, and these dudes don't want to be in a dunk contest. Like stars don't want to compete no more. No. Jordan competed, Dominique competed, Dr. J did it, Larry Nance did it, Sean Kemp did it, Kobe did it.
David Thompson.
These dudes who don't want to do it. Yeah, David Thompson. These dudes don't want to compete because they're worried about their feelings getting hurt. They're not, I mean, just go out there and do it. What's the point? If you don't want to compete, then fine. But don't make these like Ja Morant. If you don't want to compete, don't compete. But don't complain about the format. Y'all created the problem in the first place.
Exactly.
They're not even putting forth any type of effort. None.
No.
None whatsoever. So
put that money up. Yeah. Put that money up. You know what I'm saying? Make it mean something. Right? I think Dom had said it one time where it was like, yo, play that thing at the end of the year or play it during the summer league or something do something where it means something more than just a weekend where the hose is out and cats are spending all their money.
I'm just trying to understand from this standpoint. is that
Right.
you're getting paid millions of dollars. But how much more? If you're getting paid $300 million, but you want another $100 million to play in a damn All Star game, you get paid $300 million. You get paid almost more than $250 million.
Well,
Mm.
well, you know what? Okay, so again, juxtapose that to how much they make over that weekend, right? I want my money. I could if I was getting $800 million. If you making $100 trillion, I need a piece of that, right?
I brought
That
this up. I brought this up to
that
live a while ago.
Okay.
I think it would be. It's just me. Do the Sippy Cup before the season starts.
right.
Can Summer League, or you really don't got to can Summer League. Do the Sippy Cup in Vegas and go back to having the Summer League in Orlando. Just have the Summer League there. In between the Summer League and the Sippy Cup, we play both tournaments, and now there's nothing else to watch. So these games don't count. Period. They're like training camp, like baseball. They'll be like preseason games to warm you up for the season. But you're trying to create something during the regular season that you really ain't creating because they're still countable games.
Right. And
help me understand that, man. Talk to me like I'm 10 years old.
Make that game mean something in the standings and in some play. Like I don't, and and like I said, I'm not gonna say act like I I'm proficient in the numbers or whatever, but it's like take that game and take those games and make it viable for the East or the West to get something substantial in the playoffs or in the championship.
You're talking about the All-Star game live?
Yeah.
Major League Baseball tried it.
Make it mean something. Make it mean something.
Y'all remember Major League Baseball tried that. The winner of the All-Star game got
they would hold
the World
the home
Series.
field advantage. Exactly.
I mean,
I understand where Live is coming from, and Craig made the point. Now, Craig's point is a good point he made about the slam dunk competition. But again, if they get beat by some street dude, forget it.
Oh,
they want to postpone this All-Star game.
They wouldn't compete against them. The street dude would wear their jersey. They'd be like the person representing them.
Right.
So LeBron wouldn't dunk. He would have somebody that he nominated to dunk for him in his name, and maybe that person would donate to his. The money would go to the school LeBron got or some charity or whatever. But at least it'd be real dunk contest dudes that's in the parks doing these dunks every single day.
Every single day.
Jokers sitting here playing around.
Yeah.
Right.
But some of these, if you watch some of them YouTube things, these dudes dunk better in a dunk contest than anybody.
Way better.
Way better.
And there's about 50
I mean, because they came up, to your point, they came up on when we used to watch it and cats did it in their first try.
Exactly.
Right? So they come up on the quality and refined it so they be better than the Vince. Because the Vince is the no other one top the Vince joint. Vince shut it down after that. You had to jump over a car to do that. But the point was, to your point, them dudes is out there in the park every day practicing. Let them do it. Right?
That Aaron Gordon one.
Oh, that was the best
Gordon one was fire.
Him and Zach Levine.
That was a throwback, right? I'll admit that. That was a throwback.
That was the last one, guys. That was the last one.
They should have piggybacked off that energy and let these dudes that really entertain us on YouTube go in there and get time, show some community stuff. Just make it better. Like these marketing people have make it more entertaining. I'd watch it. The only thing I watch during All-Star Weekend is 3-point contest. That's the most entertaining. I
watch that.
What about the one with what's that? The
skills competition.
With the WNBA player and Steph Curry.
Oh, the shot.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I mean,
I like that. That's cool with me.
Yeah, that was cool with me. Well, you know what I'm saying?
It's cool. But I want to see something like Steph Marbury Iverson joint. You know what I'm saying? The Glenn Rice 44-point game. I want to. Man, look, back then we used to watch the All-Star game and they used to go at it.
They used to, exactly.
They used to go at it. So I want to see that again.
Then again, guys, y'all remember when the All-Star game was played during the day?
Yes.
After the game, you go outside and you play ball. Now everything's geared around 8:30, 9 o'clock, and
yes, that's right.
You know what, guys? I take the All-Star game, and that weekend I do my own load management. I ain't gotta watch no more games for a few days, so It's like low management. I get the detox from all the crazy Knicks fans and just calling George, man. Wait till the season kicks back in but I mean, getting back to what we were talking about, the trade deadline.
Oh yeah.
Hey, Chris Middleton got traded. I feel sorry for what's his name. Brandon Ingram got shipped to Toronto.
Yeah, that's crazy.
He been on the Ruger block for how long? And then they send his ass to Toronto.
Yeah.
And you still got Zion on your team. Lord have mercy. The Pelicans deserve nothing but failure.
Exactly.
There was some. I will say this, guys. Normally, but again, it goes to my point that I always say: all the shit you hear, all the rumors you hear, none of them ever come true. Nobody saw near one of these trades happening.
No.
Nobody saw Luka getting traded. Nobody thought Milwaukee was trading Middleton. I damn sure nobody saw Brandon Ingram going to Toronto.
No, of all places.
None of that shit. All of these so-called NBA experts.
Right.
Man, sit back and shut up. Because you ain't in these teams beating rooms and, stop with all the sham and the woes. I think that's why Woj walked away. It's this bullshit like I'm some kind of magician. I'm just getting information after it happened. But they'll say, breaking news from Rodney Jones.
Exactly.
Rodney Jones is just reporting that Dominic got traded. How hard is that? I mean, I think that's why Woj walked away. He took $1 zillion less to go back to his college and be some makeshift GM, whatever his job is.
The hell with this crap.
I think he got tired of that shit, man. Woj bomb and there no Woj bombs. They were Woj dust balls. I don't know, but he was smart, man. He took his money and
he said, "The hell with this shit."
Yeah, I go back to my alma mater and
that's it.
And I enjoy the rest of my life. He got a family. He said, you know what the sad thing is, guys? He said that his phone was on like 24 hours a day.
Of course.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
What kind of life is that?
I mean, if you know what I'm saying, I know. I had stayed. I stayed looking at my phone from like 12 o'clock to about 4 o'clock.
Oh, word.
Right. Yeah, just looking like Hoop Type. I go to Hoop Type. Like Hoop Type, I can trust Hoop Type to give me the latest.
Okay.
So I I'm looking at that, and I'm looking to see if anything is happening. More so for the Knicks than anybody. But
I told you last night live, the Knicks' biggest trade, their biggest acquisition at the trade deadline was Hotporty and Mitchell Robinson.
Right. No, I dig it.
That was their biggest upgrade during the trade deadline.
I dig it.
And didn't have to sacrifice no money, no picks, nothing.
Right.
They got their own two people healthy to take us down the stretch.
Right. And if you actually think about it, they had to see something in Mitch to go, okay, you know what, we ain't got to make a move. We can hang out.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? We can hang out for a minute.
Yeah.
They got rid of didn't they? They got rid of Sims?
Sims, yeah.
Yeah, they got rid of Sims.
Don't start live.
Yeah, nah. Well, I mean, but I thought they did that man a favor, right? You know what I'm saying? Because again, they saw. I know they saw what I saw, and they saw Hotporty out playing them.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Now, again, we can talk about whatever happened in practice or whatever, but we as knowledgeable, you know what I'm saying, fans can see when the dude is better than somebody else. When even in his not readiness, he more ready than a 4-year player. We can see that. You know what I'm saying? So and everybody saw. So they was like, look, we making it, we being too loyal too much.
Where did he go? Where did he go traded to?
He went to the Bucks. Yeah, he went to the Bucks. You know what I'm saying? So, and again, you know what I'm saying? I just told my brother, in year 5, they gonna give him another check, right? You know, because his check is up. They're gonna see him jump over the backboard, and they're gonna give him another check. I believe that. You know what I'm saying? Because he has too many raw skills,
right?
To not to be like, damn, we got to give him another flyer. Right. So he gonna make a little bit of money, and when he get on the court, when it's real time, they're gonna see his dumb ass go, and then they're gonna be like, damn, we done fucked up
Yeah.
and gave this guy a little bit more because he's a good guy and he's a good kid and he has and Tibbs ain't give him no burn.
Nah,
He ain't give him 25 minutes just to
he ain't getting there. He ain't getting
unless
there.
it was
I don't
unless
think
it was the injuries. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think you could afford to keep him on the court for 25
I
minutes.
agree with that.
Exactly.
I agree
I'm
with
sorry.
that.
And
I agree with that.
I was one when Live was clowning this guy. I was always like, well, Live, he's athletic, and
Right.
Live would say that's all he is. And I'm like, but he's athletic, and
Well,
4 years later,
yeah,
he's finally
still
gone.
athletic, right?
So like, yeah, he's still athletic, but not on my team.
he is. He is who we thought he'd be.
Exactly.
Mhm.
It ain't guys. Come on, man. Sometimes we're not professionals at this. We're just fans.
No,
But
exactly.
there are times, guys. Come on, man. That me and
Yeah.
Ronan could look at somebody and say,
Nah, he ain't got it.
Yeah, this shit ain't really working. 90%
Yo.
of Knicks fans that weren't riding Phil Jackson's job knew Frank Ntilikina couldn't play ball. 90% of us knew 90% of us knew Kevin Knox never had a motor. Even if he went to Ford Motor Company, he wasn't going to get a motor.
Can I admit something to y'all, brothers, man? You know what I'm saying? I gave up on Mikal Bridges.
Oh, yeah.
I did.
Yeah,
and I went down the line. You know what I'm saying? First it was Mikal, right? Bridges. Then I was like, you know what? This Michael Bridges dude look really good. I jumped on his fan wagon. Then I seen Knox, and I said, man, I seen all these damn YouTube tapes, how young, how he look, how he shoot, baby. I was like, okay, so you know what? He's a younger guy. Let's go with him. And I was on it, and they picked him. I was ecstatic. I was like, you're bum. You're bum.
That's how far back me and Live go.
Wow.
Ntilikina, Knox,
Porzingis.
And ain't none of them. I tell you what, though, the funny thing is, Knox and Ntilikina might have lasted the longest.
They did.
Out of all those picks, believe it or not, them two clowns might have lasted the longest.
Right.
But
right.
And you want to sit back and complain about what you're seeing about the Knicks now? God bless you. You weren't watching the shit I was watching. And I feel maybe it was me. Maybe the Knicks really didn't lose 65 games twice. Maybe I had a dream they lost 65 games twice.
If y'all have watched if y'all have watched the Olympics, when France gave America a little scare, Frank was in that one.
Yeah.
He was in.
You know what's weird? Live, Steve and Av, 2 occasions. 4 years ago, I said the Knicks should get Karl Anthony Towns, and they used to get on my ass. Him and Thibodeau went at it. I said he was a kid. You know, we grow. We all make mistakes when we were younger.
Of course.
But my original one was when we drafted Kevin Knox. I said, why didn't the Knicks draft Michael Porter Jr.?
Yes.
Well, he had.
Yeah, I knew. I was.
He had
like,
a back issue. I said, but he could sit on the bench. He could sit on the bench for a year and learn the game and see the game. He's still 19 years old.
Right.
He's watching. He's learning. He's in the NBA mix. But no, we went and got Kevin Knox because Phil Jackson said he was a good kid.
He was. He stayed up all night playing that damn Fortnite. You know what I'm saying? They couldn't get his ass to go to bed.
He was a good kid. What'd you say, Ronan?
I remember you said that. Someone who he ain't on the show anymore. He thought you was crazy.
Yeah, everybody did. Live thought I was crazy.
Yeah, I thought he was a nut. I was like, he ain't see that medical report. You know what I'm saying?
All I'm thinking is this kid is not. I mean, come on. I could see if he was averaging 20-something points in Kentucky. He wasn't doing that.
The same year Don was doing it, that dude went and got another back surgery when he was on Denver. He had another back surgery on Denver, but he came out to be a good player, man.
Yes, tell me he ain't better than Mikal Bridges.
Oh, I wouldn't say all of that. I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that.
I love Mikal Bridges, but he cannot shoot. He cannot rebound. Better than Michael Porter Jr.
True, and the numbers
Never mind
don't
Michael
say
Porter
that,
Jr.
B.
shot.
Like
Have
that's
you ever seen Michael Porter shoot? His
no,
shit
it's
looks
poetry.
so pure. Yeah,
It's
his shit looks so
poetry.
pure.
Poetry.
I mean, I
But
like
but
Mikal
I've
Bridges.
never
Don't
seen
get me
that
wrong.
do anything unassisted. Right? And again, Dom, you the savant with the NBA, league pass, and I ain't got that. So the games that I seen, and I don't want to take nothing away from Kevin Porter Jr.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I've had Bridges all in my face, reminding me of that Kevin Knox trade, and I'm like, God damn, from the Suns to the Nets to now here, and Mikal Bridges is just not flashy, and he a little doofy. You know what I'm saying? But don't look pretty.
Yeah, he looks stiff and
but
he's a Knick.
it's
He's a
always
Knick, so
been consistent.
Yeah,
like,
he's a Knick, brother. He's a Knick.
He's a Knick now, so I can't.
Oh,
I always had this thing about Michael Porter Jr. and it became a thing where I almost became crazy about watching the Nuggets. Like I'm a Knick fan. I'm a Knick fan, but the good thing about the Nuggets is like the Knicks play at 7:30, so at 9:40 they're normally off. Denver plays on the other side, so at 9:30 their games are just starting. So I would go to the Denver games, and I'm looking at this. I'm like, Kevin Knox. Every time I saw Michael Porter Jr. hit a jump shot, I was like, Kevin Knox.
Woo.
Kevin Knox.
Horrible.
Kevin motherfucking Knox.
Horrible.
And where is
Fortnite. Every time I hear Kevin Knox, I hear Fortnite. Motherfucker, because they know they used to complain that they couldn't get him
to stop playing the game.
They couldn't like late at night. Like he be in there 3-4 o'clock in the morning where he's supposed to be getting fucking rest, and he playing with other motherfuckers with playing Fortnite and shit. I'm like, you making millions of dollars, dog. What? Like that's gonna be there. I'm like, shit.
Yeah, Fortnite was more important than the NBA.
Yeah, damn sure was.
That was crazy. I never heard no shit like that before. Yeah, for real. This was like proven shit. They couldn't get this kid to go to bed.
I just saw something just now. I see Dallas beat
they whooped them.
Yeah, three starters and 3 bench players had 15 points.
Yeah.
That's
I was watching it earlier while y'all were talking.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, this might be.
And who they
only won by 7, but they was up by like 21 points.
Wait a minute, they beat Boston?
Oh yeah,
in Boston.
No,
it was in Dallas. Well, yeah, it was in Boston.
Son, Boston been playing kind of down to earth lately, man. Lately, they ain't been having it. And I think like Jaylen Brown over like the whole year, he ain't been doing his thing.
The Knicks will be the number 2 seed.
$million a year ain't been doing his thing.
Yeah, this is what I heard. I'm not, don't quote me, but I heard his play has been very, not him, right? Not, it's not. He hasn't been explosive. He hasn't been timely. So I don't fuck with no Celtics game. So
I was watching that game before we started,
Right.
And I'm watching it on my phone. They was up by like 23 points. So the Celtics either that or
Dom, how many threes did they shoot?
Who, the Celtics?
Yeah, they shoot threes like it's
hotcakes. I know, yeah.
That's their whole space and kick space kick.
16 for 37, Ron.
16. Wow, that's not bad.
Yeah, that's their whole game.
And that's a low. To Ronan's point, that's a low game for them. They normally shooting in the 50s.
In the 40, high 40s,
yeah. Yeah. But I watched that game, and guess what? None of the Maverick starters except Thompson really did anything. Kyrie only had 19. Yeah, Ben scored between. I'll tell you what, guys. Before we go. That fucking Christie is going to be the difference in that trade.
Yeah, no, Christie killed us that night. The night he played us, man.
And guess what? He killed Boston. He killed Boston tonight coming off the bench. 15 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists.
Nice.
1 steal, 1 block.
Yeah, he's going to be a problem.
This kid is going to be
a problem.
Like I told you, live about that kid on Houston, that Amen Thompson.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't even like that dude. That dude is he looks scary, man. Like that night when he played us on the Rockets, I was pissed off because all he didn't do was shoot the ball right. Like he did everything right. He's like everything he did right. And to think that Jalen got 42 on him, kind of crazy.
And his
kind of crazy, but it didn't look like it though. It looked like he was
last night.
killing.
I was telling these guys last night, and I know you want to go. The Rockets changed and turned over their whole franchise.
Yeah.
The night Ime Udoka said, "You whine too much. You a bitch." And he was talking to LeBron, and they kicked his ass out the game.
So you see what he said about
that
you see what he said about
mentality.
You see what he said about Eman Thomas last night, right?
Who, Udoka?
Yeah, Udoka. He was like the dude. One of the reporters was like, "Yeah, what you mean, Eman Thomas? You know what I'm saying?" Da da da. He was like, "Yeah, he's a hell of a guy, right? But he wasn't tonight, huh? and he wasn't against Jalen Brunson either, huh? Yeah, but he's a hell of a player though. Like
I'll tell you what, guys, he is the perfect guy for that team because they mirror him. They act like him. They're gully. Right. They got that rough edge.
Yeah.
And
he
acts like that on the sideline.
He do not care.
He be talking to the other players like scrub, bitch ass. But when he did that,
because he used to lock cats up when he played. Man, he was a player. Like he was a player. He wasn't no all-star, but he was a soldier. He was one of Popovich's goons.
Yeah,
you go in here, yeah. He locked cat, and I wouldn't say lockdown, right? But he played great. He played great defense. He had a little jump shot,
right?
You know what I'm saying? And he played his game. He played a thorough game. Guys, and that's how they do it. That's how they do it.
Having league pass was a blessing because there's times I watch the roster and the camera will just pan by this motherfucker. And I'd be like, the shit that he's probably thinking that he's getting ready to say it's got to be classic shit, man. That look on his face is like, these mother, and then when they come to the bench, I can just see them like, and they all look at him like
because he don't care about your millions. He don't care about your money. He don't care about your privilege. He don't care about who you is around the way. This is my team.
And you know what?
Gonna play the way. If you don't play the way I say you're gonna play, you're not gonna get no burn.
And I told you live. I even told y'all last year. I said these young guys ain't gonna be young forever.
Right.
And guess what? When this season started, I told live and all my boys, they ain't gonna be no playing team. They're gonna make the playoffs. They were like, oh, come on, Dom, this guy is he got some young, hungry alley cat. Just waiting to claw your ass to death. They almost beat the Knicks. After the Knicks was,
and they have Shingun, and they have the little point guard
what's
cat.
His name?
Van Vliet.
Van Vliet.
And they still gave the Knicks a run for their money because that kid.
We almost lost it. We needed all them 42 points, B.
Because
needed all of them.
I'm gonna leave y'all with this.
All right.
There's too many times I watch the Knicks game, and I say to myself, Karl Anthony Towns' basketball IQ is a fucking Egg McMuffin. I'm just saying, he just does some dumb shit.
He do.
I just look at him and say, what is wrong with this motherfucker?
You gotta cut him some slack, though. You gotta cut him some slack.
No, there ain't no slack, bro.
He plays like a 12-year-old sometimes.
Son, he'll hook somebody and then ask what happened.
Yeah, what happened?
What happened?
Yeah,
what happened? What I do? And I had the look of amazement, like he ain't touched nobody.
Meanwhile, the guy
I'm like, dog, you do that 4 times a game.
You gotta cut him some slack.
No, I'm sorry. I've been a Knicks fan too long. I ain't cutting nobody's shit. You got all that damn money. You ain't getting cut nothing. We'll cut your damn neck. No. Get your ass back on defense. The Knicks, forgive me for saying this, the Knicks whine so much like they did something. Like they're the 92 Bulls and shit. Like, I deserve this. Get your ass back on defense. sitting there whining every 5 minutes. And don't give me the shit Thibodeau hurts his players. All you see is them fucking rolling all over the floor. Go up for a layup. They're in the first row. I'm like, what are you doing? You don't have any respect for yourself? I mean, throwing yourself on the floor? Oh, get out of here with that. But Karl Anthony Towns, I don't care what you say. This brother's making damn near $60 million. Homie, shut up. Just shut the fuck and get back on defense. Because guess what? Even when you get back on defense, you ain't that good of a damn defensive player anyway. But at least put the effort forward. Stop whining and get your ass up.
He put the effort. Come on, stop.
No. Oh, come on. That
stop.
boy. Oh, come on. Let's not act like he's a dick. But let's not act like all them stories we heard about his ass being soft.
All right.
Ain't the truth. I'm just saying. You can go to bed now. Or that motherfucker's like Cottonelle, man. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, Nick fan.
Jesus. With that being said, let me end this podcast real quick. Thank you guys for attending live. Ronan, Craig, thanks for joining in. Where the rest of the crew is Mr. Reggie, Mr. Bishop, Mr. David. I don't know. I'm gonna holler at them and get at them and see what's going on. Hopefully everybody's all good. Hopefully I get a chance to do this next week with you guys.
Yes.
Till then, y'all stay blessed. All right.
Thank you, sir.
man. Yep.
Thanks.
Yep. Thank you.
Peace, everybody.